Hello everyone, welcome to round number 10 and the final round of the 2016 NASA RallyCross Challenge season here at the Las Vegas Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada for the showdown between the MRT teammates. It's Cody Erdman and Josh Mertz battling for this championship for the final round of the season. It's Josh Mertz bringing you the call as always for the Automotive Sports Network, and we're going to show you a quick graphic here as to who needs to do what in order to win this championship. It's relatively simple, because if Erdman finishes 5th or higher, he will win the championship. Only if Mertz wins the race. If Mertz wins the race and wins his heat, and Erdman finishes 5th, that will tie the championship, and Mertz will get it on the 5 wins to 3. But anything else, say Mertz wins and does not win his heat, that will give Erdman the Drivers' Championship. So it's relatively simple. Erdman's got a low goal. If he makes it into the final, he will essentially win the championship, as he has not finished worse than 5th. We do have 11 cars here, so that will be an 8-car final, but with his average finish, or his worst finish being 5th, he can finish that again and still win the championship. So, like I mentioned, we do have 11 cars here today. All of them on track for seeding at the moment, and this is how our format will go. 3 quarterfinals of 6 laps apiece. You have to take the Joker once. At the bottom of our shot here, you got the 2 paths. The path closest to the banking is the Joker. You take that once. The winner will advance through to the final, so that will give us 3 cars in the final automatically. The rest will be split into 2 semifinal heats of 4 laps apiece. You have to take the Joker once as well, and the winner will be put through as well. So that'll give us 5 cars. Then the rest of the drivers will be put into the 3-lap LCQ. You have to take the Joker once, and 3 drivers will advance to the final from that. So that will give us 8 cars for 8 laps around the Las Vegas Stadium. And this is going to be a hell of a race to end this championship. And one of the MRT boys will have car number 1 next season, and one of them will have car number 2. We had this a couple seasons ago, but Erdman lost the championship and took a sabbatical in 2014A. So as we finish up in seating, we are going to go on board. Quickest in seating looks like Cody Erdman, but we'll have to wait and see as Wetz is finishing up here in the 71. So timing and scoring lists Erdman as quickest, but we're going to finish up with Wetz here and see what he does. A 50.340. That is not good enough. That's 4th quickest. And Erdman, in the final race of the season, is quickest in seating. And that actually makes MRT win every seating round in 2016A. We are going to recap here relatively quickly. Every seating round has now been won by MRT in this season. And if you want to think about it this way, so far every quarterfinal 1 race has been won by an MRT driver. And Tristan Hagenstein has, let me check and see, 5 semifinal A wins, 1 semifinal B win. He's got a quarterfinal win and an LCQ win. So, I mean, the MRT boys are on their game, and 8 wins out of 9 races, including the last 7 in a row. So, an incredible season by the MRT boys from Austria. So let's go on board car number 82 here. Cody Erdman, fastest in seating for the onboard lap here at the Las Vegas Stadium. Jump off the line on the front straightaway. Dylan Smith in front of him, and he gets off the track to cross the start-finish line. Very difficult pinching point here over the berm into left-hander. Then it's a left, a right, and a left chicane. Very tricky first little segment here onto the asphalt. Spit onto the back straightaway. Bit of asphalt, dirt jump. You want to brake before that to get the car to turn for the left-hander. Penalty box is on the right-hand side over the dirt and into the first dirt banked hairpin. Today is very difficult because the banking is not as fast as it used to be over the berm and into the second one. You can run the banking, or Erdman's running the flat. He's half a second faster than everybody else, so that must be the fastest way around the Las Vegas Stadium. Into the third and final dirt hairpin. Over the last jump, very tricky to get that right. You have to hit the brakes hard for the double apex left-hander. Spits you out onto the front straightaway, and that was a lap here in the Las Vegas Coliseum. The MRT boys there, 1 and 2 in seeding, and that is going to result in a very, very competitive first quarter final. As it's going to be Erdman on pole, Brandon Nicholson making his first start of the season in the second gate. Then it is going to be Josh Mertz in the 81, second in points. And then making his first start as well this season, Arnold Columbia. Getting ready to go, 6 laps in Las Vegas. Who's going to come out on top between the teammates? Lights out, and away we go. At the whole shot at the start-finish line, it's Mertz, and into the first corner. The teammates dueling away like we have fully expected them to do. Mertz gets the lead ahead of his teammate here, and onto the backstretch. Columbia third, Nicholson fourth. They're going to have their own little privateer battle, but our main focus is going to be on the Drivers' Championship, and it's this purple car, and it's the red car. Erdman to the inside in the first dirt corner. Couldn't make anything happen. Into the second one. This is what I was talking about a few moments ago. There are 2 different lines here, and Mertz has been losing time trying to do that. Erdman right on the back bumper of the 81. Over the jump into the final couple of corners. Erdman to the inside of his teammate, and he bangs him out of the way just like he did in Riverside last week, and that's going to give the championship leader the lead after the first lap. Mertz smells blood in the 81, getting so close. Looks like he made contact with his teammate, and he pushes him out of the way, and that puts Mertz to the lead. So the duel is getting good between these guys. Into turn 4, Mertz leads. And into turn 5, he's going to try the banking again, but I don't think that's helping him. Turn 6, once again, eating the banking. He was fast here 1 season ago when he used that. Contact between them again, and Erdman to the lead. 3 lead changes in a lap and a half. And everybody in the paddock right now, down at the pit gantries, nobody's sitting down, as this is the battle that we have been focused on all season long. Now let's see if Mertz can take the fight to his teammate. He does. He jokers now. So you're going to see the joker unravel between the teammates. And that's going to put Erdman back to second. And this is the gap between them. You see Erdman there in the 82. It's a couple seconds faster if you get it right. You can make it one long arc into the corner. Looks like Mertz got hung up on the berm there in the 81, so that might cost him a little bit of time. Erdman trying to take the fight to his teammate. The bottom 2 haven't changed, and we're focused on the leaders here. As Mertz trying to pull away. He ran a 50.2 last lap. He's struggling today. In the 81, his teammate has halved that gap, 47.4. Fastest so far, but he did run his joker. A little bit slow in the first complex there. Off of turn 3. Down to turn 4, past the penalty box. And Erdman, he opened that gap up to Erdman just a smidge. But this battle has been fascinating all season long, and I don't see it ending tonight. I see this battle becoming the main focus point, obviously enough because of the points battle, but these guys, even if we didn't have a points battle, they have been neck and neck all season long. Unforgettable moments in the NASA Rallycross Challenge between these guys, and we're going to come to 2 laps to go here in Las Vegas for the final quarterfinal of this season. Quarterfinal 1, I should say. 2 to go, and Erdman is there, and he hasn't jokered yet. And I think Mertz realizes this, and he runs it wide. And it looks like Erdman, he might even just make the pass here. I think Mertz has burned his stuff up trying to stay ahead of his teammate. 49.4 to a 48.9. We said half a second faster in seating, and that proves it. To the inside goes Erdman. If Mertz can get the banking right, he can hold his own, but it's the problem in the middle of the corner. Trying to hang on. Looks like struggling in the 81. Erdman to the inside. He's going to box him out there in the 82. And we're coming to the white flag, and he hasn't taken his joker yet. Will Mertz take the fight? He does! To the inside of his teammate. He's not giving up! And white flag between the teammates in Las Vegas. And Erdman's going to joker, and I think this is going to hand it to him. Unless Mertz can get out of this corner faster than his teammate. Looks like he did get the run. Will he take it to the inside? He's not even close. But he's got half a lap through turn 4. Car length and a half between the teammates in turn 5. Mertz is going to follow that same strategy of running the bottom, and you saw it helped him. He got a little bit more bite through the corner, trying to take the fight into the final dirt hairpin. He's going to dive it in on his teammate. Looks like he tried to. I don't think he's going to get it in his final couple of corners. What a scintillating duel between the MRT boys in the final quarterfinal. Erdman blocks the inside, and 2 bonus points, and an easier run to the championship for Cody Erdman. Mertz second. Coming around for Columbia. He loops it in the 39. And Nicholson will be 4th in the 37. So in theory, if Erdman were to finish 5th, that gives him 25 points. So realistically speaking, he can win the championship now with finishing 6th or worse. And he has not finished worse than 5th. So this is a mountain to climb for Mertz. He hasn't admitted defeat yet, but his run of 6 podiums in a row, first, third, first, third, is going to be very difficult to beat Cody Erdman here in Las Vegas. Now we're getting ready for the second quarterfinal. It's going to be Philip Kraus on pole in the 19, then Doug DeNice in the 10, Chris Wetz, and Casey Lester. Wetz is mathematically eligible to win the championship, but he cannot win it because Erdman is in the final. Getting ready to go for our second quarterfinal. It's lights out and away we go. Off the line, Wetz and Kraus battling at the whole shot of the start-finish line. DeNice is in 3rd and Lester 4th. Rounding turn 2, contact there between Kraus and DeNice. No penalty as Wetz leads. DeNice is 2nd. Kraus 3rd, Lester 4th. Wetz is going to try and set sail here, and these guys are battling as looks like penalty box to the 10. So we must have missed that on our timing and scoring. That must have been radioed directly from race control to Doug DeNice. Penalty box to the 10. As now Wetz is going to try and pull away. And like I mentioned right before the start, he is now eliminated from winning the championship. As he was technically able to win it, but he was so far back, Erdman had to have finished 11th. He basically had to blow up in the LCQ to be able to win the championship. Well, Wetz would. Wetz would have to win, and Erdman would have to blow up. Sorry about that. So the long shot has been eliminated. It's now the teammates. And Kraus is actually pulling up to Wetz. I don't know if Wetz is pushing all the way or there might be a problem on the Mitsubishi, but we're a lap and a half through this quarterfinal, and Kraus, after getting turned in turn 1, has got this gap back. You see the privateer battle in the background there. Lester v. DeNice. These boys having a good battle. It was announced earlier today that Lester has been signed to Area 52 Racing to join Philip Kraus in the Citroens. It looks like DeNice had contact with Lester. No penalty there. Doug DeNice and his private Subaru, unsure of his plans for 2017A. But hopefully we see more of the Missouri native. Like I mentioned a few weeks ago, actually 1 week ago, sorry, in Riverside, the American from Missouri, the longtime privateer, has been here since the start, making a few scattered starts in the NASA RallyCross Challenge. The newcomer, the Canadian Philip Kraus, in 2nd behind the American from Texas. It's Chris Wetz leading the race. As these guys battling hard for these 2 bonus points in the automatic transfer through to the final. And Kraus, like I mentioned last week, burst onto the scene here in NASA RallyCross, and incredibly fast is the young Canadian as we cross halfway home in the quarterfinal. He's battling hard with Wetz. I don't think they've jokered yet, but Kraus is faster than Wetz. 49.0 to a 49.6. He's half a second faster, and that is why he has been able to claw this gap back. So Wetz realistically is just trying to hold him off, but these corners, like we saw earlier on, the 2 different lines, Wetz is getting a great run from the middle of the corner off, and that is propelling him to keep the lead here. But Kraus is trying to dive in and sneak into the inside. So it's like an oval race obviously, since they're oval-shaped corners, or inspired by ovals, I should say, you've got the banking and you've got the flat part. You just got to get the line right to either hold the position or take the position in Wetz or Krause's case. Jokering is Wetz, and this is going to give him a gap. Once we find him on timing and scoring here, there he is. And he has propelled ahead of Krause. So we're coming to the white flag here in Las Vegas. Krause is not jokered, and this is going to tell if Krause has the delta. Or is within the delta, I should say, because he will be able to sneak by and take the lead from Wetz, and that will give him the 2 bonus points in the second grid spot. And he's already half of that gap between him and Wetz. So definitely might be a problem on the Revolution Mitsubishi. But Wetz struggling in the 71. White flag in Las Vegas for the second quarterfinal. Krause jokers, 48-8 to Wetz's 48 flat. Coming through the joker, no contest, and that's the lead, and that's the difference between Krause and Wetz. Looks like he could have jokered, or Wetz could have jokered, and that gap would have stayed that way. So he could have jokered twice. That's how big the delta was. Krause looks like he's going to win this quarterfinal. He's got 3 corners left, and he's going to be put through to the final with his team owner. And then whoever wins that third quarterfinal in just a moment. Off the final corner, Krause wins and transfers through. It's going to be Wetz finishing second. Lester will come home to fourth, and Denice will come home. Lester will third, sorry, and Denice will come home in fourth. So interestingly, we have all race winners in this quarterfinal. It's Dylan Smith on pole in the Rockstar Mitsubishi. Then it is Tristan Hagenstein in the second position. And then it is Dylan Livengood, 4-time champion and 13-time race winner. 6 laps, 3 cars, it's lights out and away we go. Livengood, like we've said in the past seasons, gets the whole shot over his teammate and Tristan Hagenstein into turn number 2. Dylan Smith pushes it wide in the 22. Hagenstein in third. Now a race winner in the NASA RallyCross Challenge, so I can't exclude him when I talk about that. And this man won here 2 seasons ago. And that was his last victory 2 years ago. 2 calendar years ago, 2 seasons ago. And Livengood trying hard to get on the top step of that podium. He has struggled all season long. His best finish is third. That was in Valgenswaard to begin the season. And 2 weeks ago in Bent Twig. He was looking poised to take that victory until him and Erdman came together on the back straightaway. And this is one of his strongest tracks. His teammate in second for Revolution Racing, Dylan Smith. Let's see who jokers on lap number 2. Nobody does. Hagenstein in third. As Livengood battling with his teammate. Looks like Dylan Smith got a better run through turn 2, but he wasn't able to portray it down into turn 3 and into turn 4. So Livengood a 49.737, fastest man on the circuit. And these 3 guys are relatively close to each other on the track, under a blanket. All race winners, 13 wins, 5 wins, and 1 win. So Dylan Smith, the inside of his 4-time champion teammate, looks like he'll take the lead. So the battle of the Dylans, and it looks like Livengood nearly gets turned by Hagenstein. Almost contact there. He's going to take the fight to the inside of his younger teammate. And the German versus the Canadian versus the Dutchman as we cross flags and halfway home in the quarterfinal. Nobody jokers yet. To the inside went Livengood, trying to take the fight on his teammate. And nobody's jokering yet, which is an interesting strategy. It looks like they're all just going to follow each other home. Dylan Smith left the door open for the 51. And Livengood wants to get through to the final and wants to win a race. You see the MRT domination all season long. The only other non-Subaru, with a winner sticker on the door is Wetz. Livengood struggles over the jump there. That opens the gap up for Dylan Smith. To the inside is Hagenstein on Livengood. And that will put Hagenstein, at least he'll try to take the second spot. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So Dylan Smith pulling away in the 22. 49.315, fastest lap, and his fastest lap overall was his last lap. So fastest man on the circuit is the young German with 2 laps to go. Nobody's jokered yet. So a very strategy-less race here, as looks like the teammates are trying to follow each other home, and Hagenstein hasn't thrown the wrench in the works yet. As Livengood struggling in this Mitsubishi. 50.085 was his last lap. He is struggling for grip in the longer wheelbase Mitsubishi Lancer. Contact between them, it was only a bump. And look at that gap that he has from his teammate with the white flag. Hagenstein jokers. So that will put Hagenstein to second in the Subaru Impreza. And we are looking for Dylan Smith as leading the race in the Mitsubishi Lancer. And his friend and technically rival, Tristan Hagenstein. These two are best of buddies. We never mention any rivalries aside from Erdmann Mertz and Mertz and Livengood. But these guys, best of friends, and they are bitter rivals on the racetrack as well. Off of the final corner, Dylan Smith looks like he's going to joker now for the white flag in Las Vegas. So that will put him still in the lead. Hagenstein is in second, and Livengood jokers now. And he's not going to make any difference. So it looks like I got my lap count mixed up. Sorry about that. Graphics are correct. I am just not correct, not paying attention to my timing monitors. Hagenstein second, Smith first, Livengood third. So it looks like Smith will be able to transfer through the final here. If he does not make a mistake in the final 3 corners, he's got through one of them. He's got the last double apex left-hander, very tricky corner to get right. And it looks like he will join Erdmann and Kraus victorious in quarterfinal 3. Second place is Hagenstein. Third is Livengood to the semifinals. They both will go. So on pole for the first semifinal, it's going to be Hagenstein. Then it is Brandon Nicholson, Mertz, and Denice. So Hagenstein finally got a win, and he's going to go head-to-head with his teammate. Winner advances and gets a bonus point and 4 laps in the semifinals. It's lights out, and away we go. Mertz jumps the start a bit. He's going to give the gap back at the whole shot. It was him by a bumper. Hagenstein in second. Nicholson and Denice make contact for third and put Mertz through to the lead. Looks like he jumped the start just a teeny bit. No harm, no foul, as he did pip the throttle there on the home straightaway. Denice third, Nicholson fourth. Now this is going to be a fascinating battle between the MRT boys, as Hagenstein is running the same exact line as his teammate Erdmann is. Mertz is still trying to run the banking, and I don't think it's helping him. So the winner of this race will go through to the final, and everybody else goes to the 3-lap LCQ, and that's going to be fascinating as well. End of the first lap, it's going to be Mertz v. Hagenstein. We have never said that before, and that's going to be a fascinating battle today along with next season. As, like I mentioned, MRT will be 1, 2, 3 next season, as with Wetz's elimination from the championship mathematically. So Hagenstein's going to be 3. We just have to decide who's going to be 1 and 2. And Mertz runs it wide there, messes up the entry of turn 4, or turn 5, excuse me, into 6. This opens up the door for Hagenstein, as he has no championship on the line. He has struggled over the jump there. No championship on the line for the Dutchman, and you know he wants to get his second victory. Everybody tells him the first one's the hardest. They get easier from there. Mertz struggles in the double apex. I think he's using this race to see which line is going to be better, and he's trying to get faster, but I don't know if it's working. To the joker goes the 81. So we're going to come to the white flag here in Las Vegas in the semifinal, and Hagenstein, 50.398, 50.5. Mertz is slower than his teammate. So not a good day for the 81. here in Las Vegas. Third is Denice, and fourth is Nicholson. Looks like Nicholson struggling in the 37. Struggles over the jump, so Mertz gets affected by that jump as well as his teammate, but on different laps. And I think he's just trying to bring this one home. As everybody's struggling, except for Erdman. Erdman has got this race down pat. And it looks as though we will take the white flag. Hagenstein jokers now. Teammates come together. Mertz struggles and contact between them. It looks like Mertz had an issue, stalled the car out a little bit, and that will keep him in the lead. Hagenstein loses second to Denice. And Mertz with a scare there. He had a struggle with the car. He was sideways off of that corner, off of turn 3, and that's why the contact ensued. No penalty. So a scare for the German in car number 81, but it looks like he'll bring it home and win the semifinal. So that will give him 1 point. But this is still a very difficult task to do for the 4-time champion as he wins the first semifinal. Denice second. Hagenstein will finish third. And then we're going to wait for Brandon Nicholson in the 37. So Hagenstein, Nicholson, and Denice will head to the LCQ. And so here comes Nicholson in the 37. Second semifinal. It's Wets on pole. Lester second. Third, Livingood. Fourth, Arnold Columbia. 4 Mitsubishis. We haven't seen that ever in the NASA RallyCross Challenge. Winner advances. Let's lights out, and away we go. Columbia jumped the start. Livingood jumped the start. And that's going to put Wets through to the lead. Lester struggles in turn 1 over the mound, and it's going to put him out of the equation. So now, we had MRT 1-2. Now it's Revolution 1-2. So the longest running team in the NASA RallyCross Challenge, both of them actually, have had their own race. Livingood bumps his teammate out of the way, and he'll take the lead of the second semifinal. Contact between the 2 privateers. It was Lester and Columbia there, as they're having their own little battle for the 3rd spot. So second all-time on the wins list, Dylan Livingood. 4th all-time on the wins list, Chris Wets. 2 of the more successful drivers, along with the MRT boys, in this series. And we've seen fantastic battles between these guys as well. Nobody jokers on the first lap. Actually, Wets, late decision to joker in the 71. What a fascinating move, but I don't think it's going to help him. As with that terrible entry into the joker, the gap is very small. Now he has to take the fight to his teammate. 50.9 to a 49.6 was the lapse from Wets to Livingood. But with his joker out of the way, he's got to make sure that he can lap efficiently to stay ahead. Columbia and Lester still battling, but if Livingood makes a mistake like that, that's going to help Wets. Coming to crossed flags here in Las Vegas for the second semifinal, and it is Wets v. Livingood. So the 4-time champion struggling in his Rockstar Mitsubishi. Will he joker now? No, it looks like he's going to wait until the final lap to see if he can take that fight. As, like I said, disappointing season. His results are 3rd, 7th, 6th, 9th, 6th, 6th, 3rd, and 7th. And then he did not start in Canada. So, struggling in the Mitsubishi, but hopefully can find the top step of the podium for his own sake and for the sport's sake, as he won his first race in Germany 2013 and went on a tear those final couple of seasons and has been on a dry spell. We're going to come to the white flag. Wets leads his teammate, but he has not jokered. Wets has, and his strategy has been shown with the late entry to the joker. Livingood will joker now in the 51. That's the gap. Let's see what will happen here. Looks like Livingood will get by his teammate and take the lead in the second semifinal. So that's going to put Wets on the outside looking in. He will have to go to the LCQ if he does not make it through here. To the banking they both go. Wets is trying to mimic his teammate, but that makes them both slow. As into turn 5. and into turn 7, as that turn was turn 6. Sorry about that. So 7, and then 8 and 9. Oh, 08, living good. Wetz is diving in hard, trying to take the fight to him. He overjumped there. He's going to come close. Contact between them. He came really close. And Living Good's going to back up across the finish line to win the second semifinal. Wetz will come home in second. Lester third. Columbia fourth. And that is the stuff that Revolution Racing is famous for. Very goofy ways to end races here in NASA Rallycross. So your field for the LCQ will be Hagenstein, Wetz. It looks like Lester, Denice, Columbia, and Nicholson. So we're getting ready to grid up here in Las Vegas. On pole for the LCQ will be Wetz in the 71. Then it's going to be Arnold Columbia in the 39. Then it is Casey Lester in the 50. Doug Denice in the 10. Tristan Hagenstein on the back row in the 83. Then it's Brandon Nicholson in the 37. So 4 privateers and 2 manufacturer cars getting ready to go here in Las Vegas. Top 3 advance, 3 laps for the LCQ, getting ready to go. It's lights out and away we go. And off the line at the start-finish line, whole shot to Wetz. Hagenstein second. No, Denice got second through turn 1, through turn 2. Hagenstein to second. Third is Columbia. Fourth is Denice. Fifth is Lester. And sixth is Brandon Nicholson. So those 2 pull away. This is going to be a fascinating battle for this transfer spot. As remember, with an 8-car final with this new format that we debuted last season, if it's an 8-car final, top 3 advance. Denice to the inside. Contact between them. One of these privateers will join the 6 manufacturer cars. 7 manufacturer cars, excuse me, there's 7. So, Lester to the inside of Columbia. Lester's been one of the fastest cars here out of the privateers, and it's showing. Wetz is leading the race. Lester and Columbia make contact. Denice holds third, but he has issues in turn 9. To the Joker goes Columbia. So that shows his strategy. He's the first one to take to the Joker. Lester transponder issues, but he is battling with Denice. This puts Columbia in second to potentially ruin the strategy for Hagenstein. So Columbia is second in between the 2 manufacturer cars, and he's struggling in the 39. Denice battling with Lester. And I don't believe Lester has made a final in NASA Rallycross. So, Columbia second, Hagenstein third, Denice in fourth, and Lester has made a final. It was Proving Grounds 2015A. But this is going to be fascinating. White flag for Wetz. Columbia second. Wetz Jokers. So does Hagenstein. So does Denice. So does Lester. But I think this is going to be the battle. We'll have to look for Columbia. There he is. He is battling with Denice. Denice struggles out of the Joker. We're on the white flag lap. Columbia, Denice, and Lester. Contact between them. That's going to put Denice out of the running. It's going to be Columbia versus Lester. Mitsubishi v. Mitsubishi to see who's going to take this last transfer spot. Lester giving no prisoners in the 50. I think he's going to do it. Wetz will win the LCQ, uncontested in the Mitsubishi. Hagenstein will finish second. Columbia had one last chance, and I don't think he's going to do it. He does! Contact between them. It doesn't matter. Lester makes it through in the 50 for the second time in his career. 9th place points go to Columbia, 10th place points to Nicholson, and 11th place points to Doug Denice. Wow. So this is the moment we've been waiting for. It's round 10 of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Erdman on pole, Kraus, Smith, and Wetz. Back row is Mertz, Livingood, Lester, and Hagenstein. Getting ready to go to end the 11th season. Glad you can join us on the Automotive Sports Network. It's lights out and away we go. Off the line, 4 wide to the start. You know turn 1's tricky. Into the wall is Wetz. Mertz is sideways, over is the 81! Upside down and barrel rolling in turn 2. Around was Dylan Smith. Livingood had stopped. That's a red flag. And I think the championship has been decided. as Mertz got caught by Dylan Smith and over the 81 went. And I don't think he's going to be able to continue. And just like that, the championship may be decided. So let's go back and take another look here. From the TV camera from slow motion, we're going to focus here on Dylan Smith. Looks like he gets pinched by Kraus into wets. He clips the wall, and it sends him left into Mertz. And the 81, I don't think he's barrel rolled yet in a NASA Rallycross race until tonight. And unfortunately for him, I don't know, as race control is saying, no, you cannot continue. But Mertz has been allowed, by executive order from Cody Erdman, race official, to get in the spare car. Grid hasn't changed. Restart number 1. Mertz has never been, or nobody has ever been allowed to restart after flipping the car. But Cody Erdman says, I don't want to win a championship that way, and lets his teammate back on track. Dylan Smith on the third row, penalized for causing the red flag. We're going to have 8 laps to decide this race and this championship in Las Vegas, Nevada. Glad you can join us on the Automotive Sports Network for the 11th season, the final round here in Las Vegas. It's lights out and away we go. Easier run into turn 1. Whole shot, couldn't tell. Erdman leads us. Contact with him and wets nearly. It's a nicer run into turn number 1. Off of 3. Erdman leading like he needs to. Mertz is in second. Kraus is in third. Then it's Wetz in fourth. Hagenstein in fifth. Lester sixth. And it looks like contact. No. Livingood and Smith 7th and 8th. Into 5. Kraus is in second, battling with Mertz. He needs to get his teammate out of the way and over the jump through turn 6. Mertz is sideways. Contact with him and Kraus. And he's over again. And he's done. There's no red flag this time. The 81 is out of the race and out of the championship. Erdman leads. Wetz now second. Kraus is in third. As Mertz has climbed out of the Red Bull Subaru. And he climbed over the wall. And I think he's going to sit there and think about what could have been. Kraus battling with Wetz. So Canadian v. American for the second spot. As Erdman has pulled away in the Subaru, we are battling for the podium places here. As we're going to end lap number 2, Erdman's going to lead ahead of Wetz and Kraus. As Wetz slides it in the 71, that moves Kraus to second, but Wetz, no, he does not joker. I thought he was. Livingood jokers in the 51. So does Hagenstein. So this is going to bring those guys forward, and this is going to be a hell of a battle for the second spot. Erdman is out and away from the rest of the field. Livingood now second. Kraus is third. Hagenstein, Wetz. Second through fifth are under a blanket. We're halfway home in Las Vegas, and this is getting good for the second spot between Livingood, Kraus, Hagenstein, and Chris Wetz. As over the jump, looks like Hagenstein sideways and into Wetz. Up and onto the ground goes the 71. And it sounds like the engine is broken on Chris Wetz's car. Crossed flags for the championship leader and the race leader, Cody Erdman. Battling for second, Livingood v. Kraus. As we begin the second half of this race, Kraus jokers. I don't think he'll be able to take the fight to his team owner, but he'll give it a shot. Livingood's now in third. You're going to move Lester up to the 4th position. Good run for the American privateer from New York. 5th place is Dylan Smith. And 6th place will be Tristan Hagenstein, struggling in his Subaru Impreza. As we go up to the front of the field, Erdman still leads. Kraus, second, getting closer to Erdman. Livingood third still. 4th place is Lester. 5th place is Dylan Smith, and 6th is Tristan Hagenstein. So Wetz and Mertz are out of this race, and now it's a field size that we are used to in 2016A. But it's not usually this strung out. This is definitely strange, mainly due to that incident with Hagenstein and Wetz. That has diminished most of this action. But Erdman has had his own little battle for most of this race. We're coming to 3 laps to go here in Las Vegas, and Cody Erdman will lead in the Subaru. He has led since the green lights went out. He jokers now in the Subaru. Let's see if his teammate can take the fight, or his team driver, I should say. No, not even close, to the German. Living good, 3rd. Around is Dylan Smith, and that'll take him out of the running, as it looks like something is broken on his Mitsubishi. He rolled the transmission back, it looks like, and obviously that doesn't play nice. We're coming to 2 to go for Cody Erdman in the MRT Subaru. If he can hang on, he will tie Dylan Livengood for all-time on the wins list. Second all-time, I should say, on the wins list. He'll be second to his teammate. And that'll actually be, as Mertz is out of this race, 2 to go for Erdman. That will set a record for the most wins in a season without winning the Drivers' Championship, as I believe that has not been done in the history of this sport. The 4 wins in the middle of the season, an incredible run to attempt to win this championship, and it was not to be. As Erdman leads his team driver and leads Dylan Livengood in the 51. It's been 2 calendar years since Livengood won, but I don't think that will happen tonight. We're going to have one more lap of this circuit here in Las Vegas for Cody Erdman. And confirmation on that record, that is a record for Mertz. Jokering on the final lap is Erdman. Mertz will not win the Drivers' Championship, and that will set a record for most wins in a season. And if you think about it this way, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th for half the season, 4 races, 4 wins. 4 races worse than 5th. The beginning of the season hurt the 81, and this guy on the other end of the spectrum, 1 second, won his first 3 starts. He's going to join Brandon Lambert, Dylan Livengood, and Josh Mertz as Drivers' Champions in the NASA RallyCross Challenge. And rounding the final 2 corners, second all-time in the wins list, tied for Dylan Livengood, Cody Erdman wins in Las Vegas and becomes the 2016A NASA RallyCross Challenge Drivers' Champion for Red Bull Subaru MRT. So the driver, who runs under the German license, hails from Mayville, Wisconsin, becomes the 4th Drivers' Champion in the history of the sport. His team driver, Kraus, finishes 2nd. Livengood will have to settle for 3rd, now tied for 2nd all-time on the wins list with the champion. And it looks like Mertz is going to drive car number 2 in 2017A. As Mr. Consistency, he didn't finish worse than 5th, and that was because of literally crashes with him and Hagenstein and him and Livengood. There's his teammate Hagenstein, who got his first win at Riverside, as the red plate was held all season by the 82. That will give him 4 wins, Mertz 4 wins, Wetz 1, Hagenstein 1, and everybody congratulates the 82 on a dominating season. Looks like Mertz was flipped over by the marshals to come celebrate with his teammates, as the perfect season eluded them after the 2nd race in Munich. It was by half a car length. But if you can forget about that, all seeding rounds, all quarterfinals, and 9 out of 10 wins to the Austrian squad, as now we are waiting for Mertz to give his teammate a bump. What a fantastic season we had between these guys. 1st and 2nd in the championship, Hagenstein 4th. As while these guys burn it down, we will go over the Drivers' Championship here in Las Vegas. As Erdman won the race, quickly the results. Erdman won the race, Kraus second, Livingston third, Hagenstein, it looks like Lester, Smith, Wetz, Mertz. Drivers' Championship. Erdman, Mertz, 298, 273, Wetz, 264, Hagenstein, 254. As it looks like everybody is stopped there for the team photo. Livingood fifth with 216, Kraus 187, Dylan Smith 155, Doug DeNice 139, Jonathan Taylor and Victor Valley have not raced since Aspen, 117 and 116 for the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. So what a season in 2016A for these guys. For Red Bull, Subaru, MRT. 1-2 in the championship, 9 out of 10 wins, and Hagenstein finally got the monkey off his back to stand on the top step of the podium. We will see you in a few weeks' time, a few months' time, in Valgenswaard to do it all over again. And boy, is this going to be fun. 6-speed gearboxes, more downforce, and Josh Mertz running car number 2. We never thought that we would say that. And it's going to be a hell of an intra-team battle between these boys to see who will come out on top for the 12th season of the championship. For everyone here at ASN, at NASA RallyCross, we will see you soon at Valgenswaard for the 12th season of the championship. Hope you enjoyed today's coverage and all season's coverage of the NASA RallyCross Challenge on the Automotive Sports Network. We will see you in Valgenswaard soon. But until then, so long everyone.